You spend weeks building a training module, only to discover it creates two completely different reactions. Your beginners are staring at a massive, terrifying climb, while your experts are staring at a flat, endless straightaway, desperately clicking next out of pure boredom. The scaffolded module blueprint creates a single structure that accommodates both extremes through learner-led navigation. To apply this, grab whatever you're working on right now. You just need a draft, a storyboard, or a slide deck of a lesson you're building, especially if it's heavy on background theory. If you push everyone through the exact same rigidly paced material, you guarantee that both ends of your skill spectrum will check out. Novices get lost, and experts get frustrated. A successful design accommodates the learner's starting point instead of forcing them to adapt to yours. Step 1. Look at your draft and find your introductory section. This is usually labeled History, Background, or Overview. Now, unless you can point to exactly why that backstory is critical to the task at hand, get rid of it. Open with a problem your learners actually care about. If you're teaching statistics, drop the timeline of math history and ask them a relevant question. Which used car should you buy based on this data? You'll know this step works when your learners can tell you why the topic is useful before you have to explain it to them. You can't force someone to care. You can only show them how your information solves an annoyance they already have. Step 2 is your first interactive activity. If you throw a beginner straight into a highly realistic, complex simulation, they are going to freeze. Take a look at this illustration. This wary novice learner's primary barrier is the fear of feeling stupid. If they might be wrong, they refuse to engage. So we add training wheels by drastically reducing the choices they must navigate. If you're training a team to use a dense sales software, don't start with a real-world enterprise deal. Have them run a low-stakes, simple scenario first, like selling snowsuits in Hawaii. The goal here is to design an immediate success right out of the gate. Give them a task they can easily complete within the first few minutes. When a defensive learner experiences early, safe wins, they drop their guard and start taking ownership of the subject matter. Step 3 addresses visual clutter. Massive blocks of foundational text and definitions will overwhelm your beginners, while your experts will be annoyed they have to scroll past them at all. We solve this by switching from a push model to a pull model, where resources are readily available but never forced on the user. Here is how that looks in practice. Start by collapsing those dense paragraphs into a clean, sparse layout. Any critical vocabulary or foundational concepts should be hidden behind interactive elements. Now you have a dual-path experience. If a beginner needs the definition, they simply roll over the term and pull the information they need. If an expert already knows it, they keep moving without interruption. By embedding your support materials, you maintain a crucial safety net for those who need it, while respecting the time of those who don't. Step 4 is the final structural adjustment. You need to strip away any forced pacing mechanics, like locked next buttons or audio narration that users can't skip. Avoid the temptation to use a basic multiple-choice pretest as a way to let people test out of the course. Those tests rarely work because you cannot effectively measure a complex real-world skill with a simple trivia quiz. Instead, go into your authoring tool right now, open up the settings, and physically unlock the course navigation for everyone. Then, build a clear resource menu so that your experienced learners can jump straight to the exact reference materials they need to fill the gaps in their knowledge, and then exit. When you give experts total autonomy, they stop resenting the training and start using it as an efficient tool for their actual work. Review the core components of the newly completed scaffolded module blueprint: stripped theory, safe first steps, hidden supports, and free navigation. This structure provides the necessary flexibility for learners to decide how much support they need based on their own skill level. Now it's time to apply this to your own material. Open up your authoring tool and start drafting that simplified, low-stakes walkthrough. Instructional design succeeds by engineering an environment where every level of learner feels smart enough to solve the problem.